Hi guys, it's NABBA Northwest on tour in sunny Antalya. We're having a bodybuilding weekend with the boys, Big O and world famous Paul Sutton right here. So basically, right, we had a good chat at the bar downstairs last night about the realities of pro cards and the dilemmas that potentially can happen. Do you lose the fun out of it, the expense, you know, loads of little topics. So we're going to have a little talk about that now.
Yeah.
And a lot of us have a lot of experience, haven't we? Paul's had a lot of experience with this.
Well, like I say, pro is a shortened word for professional. And my view is, all this pro card stuff is a bit rubbish, that's fair to say. People getting pro cards, professional means you earn a living out of that game, out of that, what you're doing. Not going to be a PT or a prep coach. You actually get sponsorship or what other word can you use, a contract. So you're a professional, you just train and live and breathe bodybuilding. Or, you know, you're pro. People getting pro cards now, they're not going to, say as we discussed, people who, there is a certain, what I say the way I look at it, you said, the fun was out of it, to some extent out of bodybuilding. In your formative years of doing local shows, climb the ladder to Northwest, Britain, Europe, world, universe, whatever. You climb that ladder, it's fun along the way, you meet a lot of good people. But the minute to become a pro, and it gets, it's deadly serious.
I hear a lot.
So the fun goes out of it, the expense goes,
astronomical.
all your travelling, all your prep. Alright, you made yourself skinny on prep to climb the ladder anyway. But you know, to become a pro, it costs you even more.
No, it's like that because I mean we spoke to quite a few really high-end bodybuilders, right? Who gone pro and basically just thought, what have I done this for? Ruined my sort of my life, a hobby. Because a lot of us do bodybuilding for a hobby, right? It's the love, you know, we enjoy it.
But if you think about it as well, like, going back to what Paul's saying, when you become a pro or a professional, way of saying, you almost need, because if you look at the professional game now, as in, say for example, go to a pro show, so let's take open bodybuilding because that's where my knowledge is around. The winner only gets $10,000 or £10,000, so there's no, and that's just for the winner.
It's not a year's money.
And it's not, it probably wouldn't even cover the cost of full prep.
No, exactly.
So you've got these people who are turning pro to potentially, hopefully win a first place, which is £10,000 to £6,000, €1,000, which in essence is not really what you need to kind of live the life. It's not like you say, it's not a salary you could live on.
No, they could do a few a year.
Yeah.
And if they're good enough, lucky enough to win a few a year, it still isn't a lot, is it?
No.
You still got to cover the cost of everything that goes with it.
Yeah.
And also be able to live as well.
Oh,
and it's not just it's outside of bodybuilding, you still need to.
Most of the family men, of course.
Let's also put in there the travel, mate, because like I remember, well, I had Samson's Wada at the gym, and we did a training session and we had a chat, and at that point he was a pro, became quite immediate, and I was chatting to him and he's like, man, I'm in debt, because I just spent like the last year trying to get qualified for the Mr. Olympia, and I know I'm in debt because it's cost me that much money to go to America and to enter a show, blah blah blah, and like he was credit card out to death, you know, and luckily enough he was in that very small percentage where, you know, he's one of the best in the world now, but it's successful. But how many people try that and fail and become and get in financial trouble?
Well, let's say for the years I've been in it, should I say names, should I not? I know the people to sell the cars, sell the telly, you know, so, you know, sell everything about to do the prep, and these guys are on the verge and did turn pro. But if you don't, well, you mentioned Samson there. The winner of the Olympia, they get 500 this year. Second place gets 200. Third gets 100. Fourth got 40 grand. massive chop, isn't it?
Yeah.
The only way the money.
Yeah. And then you've got to remember how many are in that lineup. The rest of them,
What they get.
fuck up.
So if you go along and you're not in the top 10, then you ain't going to be
But
there.
if you think about the pros as well, because say for example, if you don't win a pro show, you don't go to Olympia. And how many pros are seen this year who didn't win a Toronto, didn't win a Detroit, and they just got on show to show to show, which is all our own expense to them, by the way. And like you're saying, Paul, if you've not got a sponsorship, a contract with a supplement or some type of income coming in, it's all at a cost to yourself.
But we did, we touched on last night about the genetic gift.
Yeah.
Some people are born west and develop well, and they will make that, should we say, top 30, 40, 50 in the world.
Yeah.
Who will, shall I say, get that contract. That, someone will probably go up in a year contract, and then we make it to America or Kuwait,
Yeah, top, I mean, we're only talking a handful of people.
These people are getting the pro cards now. They work the tail off and they're later. But let's be real. You're not going to make a living out of this.
No.
That's the key I think we've got to put across to everyone really. You've got to be realistic. So are you looking to be a pro because you love it, or are you looking to be a pro because you want to make money out of Instagram about it? Because that seems to be the modern twist on it.
For me, that is the majority of people now who are turning pro, let's say, or winning a show, wherever that may be. That means shows that they can turn pro. For me, it seems like it's a marketing way to put the IFPP initials after the name, and then say join my coaching program at whatever it is, 200, 250.
But very often we're getting that pro card, never compete again.
Never compete again. Or if we do, and it's not about, I understand it's not about winning, but like you say, it's almost like the pro card is the ultimate goal, and then like you're saying, take a step off the gas and start as a marketing point.
It all depends what you want out of it, doesn't it? I mean, like we're the same boat, aren't we? Because we all love it. We wouldn't want to stop loving it.
No.
And I think if once that love comes out of it, then you've lost your whole hobby, haven't you? You've lost your hobby, haven't you? I mean, there's a couple of people, aren't there? Like Fearless as well. Yeah. So she got a pro card. Fearless. Yeah. She got a pro card. She decided to like it and dropped it because she said backstage the girls are very bitchy, and the whole demeanour, the whole experience of the show was just not nice. And that's not just one. Then we talk. There's quite a few people we can talk about who've gone through that.
You go to our amateur shows like the Northwest. I've been to multiple times. I like a big family. There's none of that bitchiness.
We welcome others.
Of course,
come and join us, because we will not false it. We will be upright, upfront and honest. And we'll bring you in and we'll look after you, and we'll get you to enjoy the whole situation.
Yeah.
Because the family thing is a right way to look at it.
Because the amateur game should be fun.
Yeah.
Of course it should.
You should make friends. You should be able to go to any show in the country and go, oh, hey, mate, how are you? And then be able to like strike. You can see a friend you haven't seen for a while. And
That's it.
Yeah, it's a hobby.
It's a hobby. You might sort of take it to the extreme, because it's hard work. Learning to get yourself better and better and better. The battle's get yourself closer. Try and be better next time.
Yeah.
You're going to do your first show next year, right?
Yeah, June 6th.
Put you in that, you do that. Where every place you will learn a lot from the preparation, diet, your hair removal. They're all wrestling at the time, right? There's a lot of factors.
There's loads of stage presence, stage craft, everything.
The posing. You don't learn that in 1 or 2 sessions.
Yeah.
The idea of when you start your prep, 15, 16 weeks, you start your posing, you say you start posing, and you
should start posing.
You shouldn't pose.
You started last year.
Yeah.
We were in the base, in the way of flaring yourself,
holding yourself,
tensing. But if your coach is a lot spread in front, you've got drums on. When you show your lats, your legs have got to be right, your midsection got to be right, everything's got to be right.
Yeah.
So doing that, as a guest you realise, it's bloody hard work. You do an half an hour posing session, it's just as hard. Yeah, and you do see a lot of good physiques lost on stage because they don't do that posing. And like you were talking about in breakfast before, creating
all the cuts and splits.
Yes.
And that comes through practice, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. There's things that you cannot seem to grasp. And it might take a few years. My muscle, is that the word? The mind muscle connection. I've said to yourself, right, I want to tense my leg. As we're gonna have a bit of a pause session later on. There's ways of pushing and pulling through your legs and tensing your legs. You do not grasp that in your first training and in your first posing session. And it takes a long time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you grasp it and things sometimes drop into place, you think, why could I have done that a couple of years ago? You've tried your bloody eyes, and it just doesn't happen.
That brings a point. That brings a point that people think they're going to get, like, I suppose we'll talk about pros in a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
2 years.
Like Paul's saying, like, this is a perfect example actually. Because how long did it take you to win your first show?
9 years.
There you go. So it took Paul 9 years to win his first show, and then he became one of the most successful amateur bodybuilders in this country. Well, not in Turkey, but in Britain. Well, exactly. So don't be under the illusion that you're going to be like a superstar in 2 years, unless you're a complete freak of nature with the top 0.5% of genetics out there. You've got to graft to get to where you want to be.
And to play devil's advocate, I think the reason for that influx as well, I think social media has a big, massive part to play. And the marketing of being able to make it as a pro was obviously young kids are seeing people doing it and not being told the full story of what's been taken to get there, and you can think it's been done in 12 or 24 months. And again, I think with the sport decline we've seen it maybe a good few years ago, is that the reason for the influx in pro cards, getting more people interested, but we've gone too far the wrong way. Does that make sense?
There's too many federations, too many competitions these days.
I think it's
and then federations are all in
they're trying to hold on to
each other, of course. I hold on to the
competitors. They hold on to competitors, then they think, oh, I can't move from that federation. But this is what we're seeing this year. So we just come off the universe, haven't we? So we've been in the universe. We've seen people in the last 2-3 weeks doing, let me just say, I want to demean any federation, but probably lower class federations, be their British champs, their universe champs, and they can't even place in a bloody like a NABBA regional show. Do you know what I mean? So they're going around the whole country going, I'm a British champion, but you're not, because you just come sick with a regional show, so how's that British champion? Exactly. You know, I mean, I don't mean anyone, because they've obviously worked hard on it, but for me, if you want to be saying you're a British champion, you have to do the best things to do it.
Well, that can be part of your learning process. Do the local federations, which
it's a stepping stone.
I did every federation in the 90s, you know, and I loved every bit of it. And there's times when 8 or 10 comps in a year, because to learn to get conditioned, you do them every weekend for about 6 weeks. Like let's say you learn to get conditioned, you learn to bite in a bit more, get a bit more fat off, and you did that by doing your peak week after week after week. And then 0 carbs,
better each time,
and better and sharper. So it does learn you through the years how deep you can get.
Another thing to touch on, Paul, is that a lot of people may not realise this, but Paul actually got his IFBB Pro code, didn't he?
Yeah, 2002.
Right, and
can I add to that?
You can go straight into time.
You know, I'm 5'5", under 5'5". So when I come to win the EFBB Britain in my class, and at the time we gave me 5 pro cards because there was a lot of good bodybuilders in Britain, but only one was getting a pro card. So for a couple of years they decided to give it to each class. But my situation being, there wasn't a 202 or a 212 in the IFBB, you know, in the Olympia. So it was just open class. Dorian had won it for 6 years, 97 years. So money took over. I'm a lot of guy. For me to stand on stage, just imagine, I used to think, be real, Paul. You stand on stage, you've got Ronnie on one side, probably Marcus on the other side.
Kevin will probably do the same.
Jacob. Like a little boy in the man's world here, wouldn't it? So, realism kicked in. Plus the cost. The added cost. Young family and all this. my thought would be, you'd probably have to move to America. You know, maybe go to school and you know.
That's even have a potential chance.
Yeah.
And you know, so that's not
guaranteed. Sponsorships don't knock on your door. When you win a pro card, you have to go. You have to market yourself and put yourself out there. You just don't be in a lucky place and there's people watching. He's got potential. Not back in, but they don't.
But nowadays, Paul, you would have to have like 100,000 followers to get a sponsorship deal on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? And that whole situation is changed massively. You know, like you could be the best bodybuilder in the world and like have like 1,000 followers. They won't sponsor you because they don't get any money from it. Yeah.
Well, if we can just chuck this in, I did have a sponsor. Powerbeck was a company in the 90s, in the 90s. Tropicana from Birmingham. Dave McInerney.
That's become
He
sponsor
sponsored me. And that's the best sponsor we had. About £500 a month. Right? And then Ultimate Nutrition. They've backed up for a couple of years as well. £500 a month. I didn't get that much off Ultimate Nutrition. Arthur Ferris, a gentleman, he was a great bloke. He loved me a lot. But I didn't say about getting a professional one. Let's say, probably 50 grand. Minimum.
I mean, would that
Yes,
especially now today's.
Would that cover all your bits and bobs, supplements and food for the year?
You've got your family.
Yeah, and family.
You provide.
Yeah, you've got
So
all
all
those
those
things.
is it? It's the outside as well.
If
It's
you're
the more
single
like
guy,
it's the If you're a single guy, you're going to pay for the rent of the flat, food, utilities, food, So it's that as well as obviously supplementation, all your nutrition stuff like that.
It all adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, again, we always keep going back to this realism thing, don't we? We just come off the NABBA UK, and I was at the back of the stadium, like, and I was in a store, and this young 15-year-old lad, he was lovely, and he kept calling up before. He obviously wanted to chat. So come and have a chat, and he was chatting away. And he said, I want to start competing. He goes, I want to be a pro. And he goes, in a couple of years. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, just literally went, look on the stage there. That's class 2. I said, how long do you reckon they've been training for? And he goes, I don't know, a few years. I went, look, every one of them has probably done at least 10 years of training to be up there.
Right,
10 years, at least, and maybe more. And I said, these aren't even the best, because the person who won that come 5th in the universe. Right, so that's 10 years, and he's like, oh. And he didn't really get it.
He said it's 10 years. I said a long time ago, some people would say, if you're blessed, it's 10 years to become a world champion. If you're blessed. Right? No, alright, you said about 29 years to get a first place. And then I was 37 the first in the world. 18 years.
18 years.
Till we win the world. Right?
Totally longer.
Exactly.
Goes to the point of question.
It took me one year.
Goes to the point of question using your own experience. You take a 15-year-old kid who's wants to be a pro in 2 years. Obviously, my introduction to bodybuilding was obviously the same with Darren Street. I got me into bodybuilding since and the first time I ever met him, and that's how I met him when he was 30. And I said, he didn't know me, that's what you want to do, I said, I want to compete. And I said, well, I want to get on stage when I'm 40. Before, 10 year process. Well, I was bottom of the ladder in regards, never been insane, done a bit of cardio, never really done any resistance thing. But I knew I was thinking of a 10 year process, because, and why I'm saying it's modern bodybuilding, I listen to like yourself, but there was like the likes of Jay Cutler and all that stuff. It was 10 years before he even got anywhere near where he wanted to be, do you know what I mean? I know we're talking about the elite, but the kids these days are getting fed that information that you can do this, you can get abs in 28 days, and all this, you know, it's marketing. Exactly. Or a new thing. Like, to be fair, but what I'm saying is it's the information, I believe, whereas I think the internet's got a big part to play in it, whereas like I say, when I grew up, we were talking about what's in it. I found all the old Flex magazines.
That's right, yeah.
And Muscle Tech magazines, etc.
Muscle Fitness,
Muscle
Fitness,
Fitness, Flex.
yeah.
I've got
Flex from America.
you know, so that's all we have, you know, but now we've got that much information on the internet and there's so much nonsense and confusion around what is real and what's not, sort of like realism again, do you know what I mean?
I mean, like, we're talking to people about being pros and that, but so if you've got like general Joe Blocks, you know, like what we're talking about is really right because you're certainly not going to be a pro overnight. It's a long process, this game. It's consistency of training, it's consistency of eating, it's like going to the gym every day, it's training hard, eating right, and if you don't get that right, then there's no way you'll even grow anyway.
It's about what Paul said as well, there's factors out of your control.
Yeah.
Genetic.
That's it, huge.
What you said before, Paul, there's a lot of luck being spotted by the right person at the right time to be able to give you the financial security to be able to become a pro, like we're speaking about all knowledge.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not just like that, you can go to the gym, you can take all the supplements in the world, the training can be brilliant, the nutrition can be 100%, but you still technically might not be enough. Like you say, you might not have the genetic profile to have a long muscle, then you still have that kind of, but that look that only certain people with a genetic disposition can have, and then it's having that look of being spotted, because there'll be thousands of physiques out there that are fucking really good physiques, but have just never had that look or someone spotting them right there. Does that make sense?
The young ones, yeah. You know, the girls watching that, yeah. It's about getting into training. As I mentioned mind muscle connection before. The knowing how to train things. There are lots of conflicting things. We had this chat last night. I think you said it about when you go in the gym and someone says, right, get on that press, do your leg press. You say, yeah. When you go, your pad to put your leg press on is that big. So where do you put your feet? Who says where to put your feet? No. Right? You put your feet on it, right? You put a couple of plates on, you do your leg press. If your feet are high up, we know now through experience, you get your hamstrings more. You put your feet lower, gets the front lower. For too low, you feel the bloody knees along, right?
You do.
So you push where you're comfortable. How wide do you go? You don't. You just do it where you do it, don't you? Yeah. Because if you get it, if you slightly wrong, it hurts. You can put your head in. I don't mean get injured, but it can feel wrong in the wrong way.
Yeah.
So, and that can come from your presses, your pulls. So you have to learn your body and your feelings, and that does not come overnight. And how long are we talking? A year, 2 years?
2 years.
Before everything kicks in.
Just touching on that, we talked about this last night. So when I was a young lad and I was just doing the junior stuff, I didn't have a clue about high or low. I just got on it, just did it. And all I did was extension and leg press, and I definitely had the best junior legs on stage at the time. So I did 2 exercises. I didn't go on Instagram and go, let's just put my foot 10 degrees to the left and 5 degrees to the right, and I'm going to put 1 foot higher because that leg's half a centimetre bigger than the other leg. You don't do that. I mean, like, you just literally, if you're going to grow, you train as hard as you possibly can. It will bloody grow, won't it? It will grow, whatever you do.
That's only 4 reps. You get the best gains when you become uncomfortable. It's the last 3, 4, 5 reps. Then one's box, 3, one's getting box.
Exactly.
That's why people get here. Don't like exactly what you just said. I was in the gym once, I won't say the gym because it's a local gym, but not my own gym. Barry Boy. Again, it's social media influence. There was a girl, and I'll never forget that we saw a girl video on a pet there, and she said, "Oh, you're doing it wrong. It doesn't look right." And you make like thinking, have you ever heard that? It doesn't look right. It's not about how it looks, it's how it feels. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why another thing everyone wants it to look a certain way for social media. I don't give a fuck how it looks, as long as it's I'm in what I need to it. I'm not inflicting any pain on secondary muscles and all that stuff. That mind muscle connection you're speaking of before, I don't care what it fucking looks like. I just want it to work, and I think that's why, like you say, a lot of people are getting here because they want to do it a certain way so it looks great on camera.
That will come with time. When it comes to doing the sculpting bit, adding a bit, if you are doing, let's say, like you said, But your arms, because I'm getting too really deep there. If you're doing it low all the time, you'll get low pep.
Yeah.
So some might say low, we need to add a bit more top. So we alter the angle.
Yeah.
We are your arms, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you've got to feel it working your pec.
That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to feel it. I can tell you move your arms a lot, but you've got to do the minus the gauges, and you've got to feel it right.
That's it. Going back to the previous question, I think again that's an art in itself. Because of very early training, years of training for myself was I never had that. It was just all in.
You don't feel it.
And probably lost a lot of years. Probably progress. So the only mistakes in learning which I wouldn't have got either otherwise.
It's not bad time.
It's not bad time.
You've always
You know what I mean? It's like I'm still learning now. Like we've done chest a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I still have problems with my shoulder pains at times. And we didn't really fix my pressing where now I can really feel it, you know what I mean? Because like I say, very shoulder dominant.
And we shorten the range of motion.
Shorten the range of motion, yeah. Exactly, yeah.
And that's another thing we need to talk about, actually, because if you go on Instagram, you see all these videos of like real form, what not to do, and all that. And like, well, yeah, it might look better, but if that's a cross, but it actually feels it, and that doesn't, then all day long I'm going for the one I feel it. You know, that makes sense. So if you can't feel it, it ain't gonna grow, is it?
It's like the old scenario, right? Let's say for me, the pinnacle of the sport what I'm calling, it never looked like I was doing a full play. Everyone used to say in half reps. We can't size of it. He's constantly in the tension.
It worked for him.
And work for him.
But that's the key as well, isn't it? If we talk about this in leg press, actually, last night. So if you've got a full range of motion, you're resting at the top, you're resting at the bottom, aren't you? So you're only working. So if you're doing what you would say, or critical Instagrammers would say, you're not doing it properly or half reps, well, that's actually harder because you're keeping tension through that all the way
through.
through.
We know ourselves, like speaking of sport about balls, like for me, if I do a chest press and fully work out, all the pressure's on the elbow, it's not on my chest.
Yeah, you're starting to
tendinitis, and before on the shoulder, elbow pain. When I'm actually not sideways, I'm fucking chest, not my elbow.
Well, linkly what I said before with chesting, if you about feeling, if you get the angle, I will say wrong, and do it all the way from down, well, that's not working.
It's not working.
The desire thing.
And then that leads you on to a lot of these machines these days as well, right? So one of the gyms I'm I've been on a load of chest machines which literally just do your shoulder. Loads of them. You know? And like even like some of the older ones are better, to be fair, they've got more economic, aren't they? The older ones, you're like, well, they're paying really nice, it feels that way.
Well, we are on fashion, you guys are dumbbells and that. You might be seen as more dangerous. You know, certainly safer machines. You can't drop it on your head. You know, that's all.
It's only going to go one thing more.
Exactly, yeah. You
stabilise, but I think we spoke about it last night, it's like the actual movement itself, using a barbell and a dumbbell, actually doesn't, as much as, let's say, to the mental barbell roll, obviously, I'm trying to engage my back and so forth, and so on, but we're engaging the core, and making sure everything's right, and getting them stabilising muscles that we speak about, because you don't see many people that
That's a good point. You're learning how to engage your core, and your hips, and tension your core, before you do a pull, any sort of pull.
So you're safe anyway if you're doing it properly, aren't you? Because you brace your tense, your core's tight, and you just lift your bones and pull it to the back.
So when it comes to building a big back and lifting heavy weight, that's going to for a long time. You've got to learn to engage the rest and build the weight up. If you don't do all that right first, you're going to knock your back. You're not going to do it for a long time anyway. You're going to be out of it because your back's on the course.
It's very true. There's lots of important points to listen to. You know, I mean, that's all right. No, I mean, like going back to the pro thing, I think we covered most of that, haven't we?
I think so.
You know, so ultimately we'll break that down into a nutshell for everyone. So, you know, you've got to think, am I doing it because I love it, or are you doing it just to make a business out of it? I guess. And that's what it's all about. So, you know, you go, I'm this person, I have been pro. And if that's all you want, then that's fair play, I guess, isn't it? You know, it's your decision.
40 years of doing it. any Brits who've made a living out of it?
Dorian,
Samson,
definitely.
Nathan,
Nathan, Flex Lewis.
Yes.
Right, and then
There might be some others.
we're getting hard now to pinch.
Forgive me if I missed you out, guys.
What about Ernie Taylor?
Yeah.
He got top 6 in the Olympia.
Yeah.
Was he on a contract? Probably.
He was just chemical warfare.
It was with Chemical Warfare, so he probably made a bit of money out of it,
Yeah.
didn't he?
And there might be one or two.
Yes. Holland's Head?
James Holland's Head.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's not. You see, we're scraping the barrel.
40 years.
And that's
In 40 years.
in 40 years. You know, we might miss a few. We probably got half a dozen. Maybe.
But let's say there's a dozen.
Eddie Elwood.
Yeah, of course.
Did he make a good living out of it? We could talk to him about it.
Don't know, we'll ask him.
Eddie, comment on the DJ, mate.
Did you make 50 grand a year, or was it out your gym?
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, that's really quite a very good point. So, after 40 years, we're struggling to find more than 6 but off the top of my head. There's a dozen who've actually made a living out of it. How do you think you're going to be a pro in 2 years? Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's mental, isn't it? You know. So be real.
Yes.
Be real.
It's a hobby.
Look at yourself.
Have fun.
Enjoy it.
If you're doing it because you want to do it and enjoy it like we do, then is it really worth chasing a pro card? Because you're just going to ruin your love of yourself.
There was some I want to add.
Yeah.
The odds out is, I don't know with other federations, but with NABBA, if you do take your pro card and you realise you're in no man's land, you've got to do 2 years free, without competing?
Without competing,
And you can go back to being amateur.
Yeah.
And go back to the fun. And the real enjoy it.
Yeah, the fun, enjoy it. See your mates, be on stage with your mates, have a laugh, have backstage banter with them all backstage.
Have good times on stage.
And enjoy it, and create mega friendships you'll have for the rest of your life. Yeah. I took my pro card for a reason, so I didn't have to compete for 2 years.
You want to do a pro show?
Yeah.
You did the pro class?
I did the pro show.
You told me what?
And I was laughing on stage because I'm like, fuck me the size of these bastards. And if you look at the video, because it's been on YouTube actually, if you look at the video, I'm like, they're going, I was like pissing myself there going, they're fucking twice the size.
Yeah, but don't be so out. The condition was immense.
Yeah, but it's the fact that it is a fact. Like I said to you guys last night, so if I was competing in the early 2000s, I would have struggled to win that show. Because everyone was good. And I'm a realist, and like I said to you guys last night, I would say I'm probably like a top end amateur, or whatever, but I would never say I've got the potential to be a pro because I've not got the genetics to build that muscle mass. And it's realistic, and again, exactly, be real.
We just said people in the last 40 years,
Yeah, I've just trained since I was 12.
Yeah.
I've competed since I was 18, and it took me to 42 to win the union. That's like.
Me too. I told you that.
Yeah. So that's real, isn't it? And that's because we love it. We graft, and it's our passion. Some people could probably do like Samson was a pro in 5 years.
Was it?
Yeah, but he's got mega genetics.
He's got less genetic disposition.
And you can't take that off too. He's fucking one. He's definitely one of the best out there.
Well, Dorian, if you watch Dorian, I don't know if he'll be a pro, but he built himself and he worked his ass off. His hardware. Graft, yeah. But I'm an amazing physique.
Oh, God, yeah.
One of the best, man.
Well, the best there.
Yeah.
170 times.
Him and Ronnie.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
But then this is the individual choice.
Yeah.
To leave, you've got to put him in the mix.
100%. Lee Haley.
Yeah. Flex Lewis. The Flex Wheeler. Well, Flex Lewis. He won 7 Olympics. Incredible.
I'd love to see Flex Lewis in the Open. I'd love to see that. He's one of the most complete bodybuilders.
Well, can I put this in there, right? I said about being a short guy on the stage to big guys. I will say the name of the priest. Why didn't you win the Olympia? Incredible. We call the freak by the other top pros, and that is against the big one. The good big one very often beat the very good little one.
It's good at eye catching.
Arnold and Franco.
Yeah, eye catching.
Franco did win a couple of Olympics, but
to give Lee Priest his credit as well, he did beat Ronnie, he was about 5 times.
yeah.
And Ronnie was the best of all time.
Yeah.
In the opinion,
Yeah.
He did have the ability to, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like going back to what you said, he was a freak of nature that everyone said that was just.
Yeah.
When you're talking about bodybuilding,
Injustice.
if we ignore the, let's say, the physical characteristics and just go for it.
We'll go on around there and this is about judging.
Yeah.
You got, this could be controversial, guys.
Like
We
controversial.
are judges as well.
Yeah.
The realist bit about it, right? You get on stage, you aim, you work your tail off, you diet yourself, you sacrifice very hard, and you aim to win. You won't always win. But you learn from losing because it keeps you hungry. But you strive to win all the time. You've got to be real. You ain't going to win every time because you're in front of a judging panel and it's their opinion. You're not a boxer where you're not doing the guy out, just
It's clear.
it's click up.
Yeah.
You know, our hands are judges. There will be times through your formative years and through your life that you think, I mean, I think to me, I should have won that.
Yeah.
But in the hands of judges, and the qualified judges, so, you know, whether you've got 9, 11 judges, to some extent, you've got to take on the chin. You do have to take on the chin. Yeah, live with it.
Do you think now, this might be controversial, do you reckon they see their arse more they don't win now than they did in the past?
Possibly. The winner within,
Yeah.
you're filthy for 5 minutes. Some filthy for a long time. You're filthy because you think, and this is one thing, let's get on this as well.
Mindset.
On your people, as you're getting ready, you've got your family, you've got your mates in the gym and all that. What you don't need is everybody saying, you look fantastic, Tim, you look fantastic. You've got to win, Tim, you want someone to say, well, let's be real, Tim. Sorry, and this is aimed at you, right? Jerry, right? Don't get this wrong. You're not perfect. There could be someone, and this is it. Someone could turn up from any corner of the world, right, you're right. And it's possible.
Yeah.
You know, there might, there's probably some freaks out there now who train, did not train 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
Like Sam from the Wirral.
Yeah.
Can't remember his surname.
Yeah.
He turned up the Northwest last year and won the overall.
Yeah.
Because some people train for years and don't get
Just
to get on stage, but he did.
Yeah.
And there might be a lot out there now, so the next time any of us get on stage,
You do now, do you?
you get some kid turn up.
Do you think that the mindset on pros, speaking about that example, it's exactly what we're talking about now, thinking that you're going to win the right balance. And we spoke about it, didn't we? When I first started this bodybuilding game, going back 5 years ago, it was never ever to, it was, obviously you all want to win, but it was never to win. It was to put, it was better yourself.
Yeah.
And it was really, whereas everyone's so focused on, don't get me wrong,
We've got to aim to
you've got to aim to win, of course.
That's the winner was in.
Like I said, for me it was the whole journey, the process and being able to get on stage. For me it sounds like corny probably, but to look back in 20, 30 years with your kids and say, look, this was your dad, this was like 30 years ago.
You've got to have the open mind for both.
Yeah.
You've got to get on stage, but like I just said, anyone can get beat.
Of course you can.
Anybody can get beat.
No one's
So
perfect.
say you aim to win because you don't prep yourself.
And
to
sacrifice everything.
I don't mind if I'm last, no. Because that will not drive you on, will it? You've got to be a driver, you've got that to win.
Yeah.
But you've got to accept defeat.
Yeah, of course. And if you can accept the fact that that was the best version of me on that day.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's it.
you're back to draw.
We're back to where we started again.
But the winner in you, if you've got that mentality, if you get beat, you're like, that's never happened to me again. I'm going to wear my arse off now, so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, for me it'd be about, because the humility would be a case of, okay, well, Paul, what do we need to do to get better? All we need to do is, no problem, let's go.
Listen to your critics.
Like you said, that's why you
Don't move away from them because you think you're being insulted.
No.
They're constructive criticism.
Yeah,
That's
they're trying to help you,
yeah.
Why did this happen? Well, it's because you did that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There was a lad again in the UK, and he was like, where do I get some feedback from? I said, well, to be honest with you, I can give you some feedback right now. Are you ready for it? You know, to be honest with you. I said, you were holding a bit of water, you know, and I'm like, you're not holding fat, because fat's gone.
Yeah.
So what do you do? And he basically said he was on long-acting gear still. Oh, well, that's probably, that's good.
Someone then said to him, he's got to short acting.
Yeah. And I guarantee you now, if you go to short acting, you'll probably start winning things. Because that little 1% will
that change.
Yeah, you know. And, you know, you've got everything there. You know, it's all big, his size is huge. It's all complete. You haven't really got a missing body part as such. But if you got up, then he would be right in the mix.
Yeah.
You know, and literally that's just from one little compound.
Yeah.
Like you say, that feedback's vital. Because being Paul speaking about it last night, going back to last night, and once you believe you're finished, if you've got that egotistical, I am a finished article, you'll never ever get it. Whereas if you have the humility to understand, I'm not the finished article, I always need to improve. There's always room for growth, there's always room to get better. That criticism is fucking gold, isn't it? Really, it's golden information to be able to just say.
Yeah, I got one for you. Do you think that you can grow and compete every year?
No, from the in your early stages, and there's a saying about lean bulk. Sorry, I'm putting that straight away. You've got to put an amount of, I would say, fat on it. Yeah, I won't say rubbish, but fat. Whether that, a bad individual, whether that be 50, 20, 25, 30 pounds, not more than 2 stone, I don't think. Some will. Yeah, some, possibly up to 3. But the point is, it's constructive. Don't just go away and sorry, Jason. You don't just go away and $5,000.
Jason get away with it. He's a heavy duty plaster, that boy.
Yeah. $1 million an hour metabolism, I think.
Yeah.
But you know, you don't just go away and put 3 stone on fat. You go away and constructively put that weight on. But that is in your fat changes very often.
Yeah.
You know, in good carbs, not just ones and fat.
No,
You know, but you put it on. You've got some diet off there. But the point is, you should get stronger. And that's how you build more by being stronger. Generally.
Yeah.
Generally. Again, going back to what you were saying, being used for processing, not that we obviously yourself and obviously starting you guys, obviously when we got myself down to then obviously put stuff, because obviously we need to put size on.
Yes.
And we pushed, and yet there was a bit of fat there as well. Obviously there was some, it makes the process even easier. When you come back down.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Because
you realise that now.
Yeah, I know. So we got to a point where we pushed the food that high that I probably never consistently ran at that like clean food. And when I've come back down, like I've moved once, haven't I?
You've only you've moved once your calories and you've how much weight
From
you lost?
7th of September, since the swinging forward, it was just over 12 kilos.
There you go. So you lost 2 stone. You lost 2 stone just by dropping your calories once, right? And that's because we spent a year building your metabolism up and doing it the right way.
I've listened to
you know, and like you, every time I speak to you, like your mind's blowing, isn't it?
It makes sense because obviously being again going back to that learning process, Paul, is like obviously when you haven't got that guidance from seasoned veterans like yourself, it's like it's always quite carry on moving the boat, I've got to do this, I've got to add more things in, and I just need to trust the process.
Trust the process.
Do you know what I mean? The weight's consistently coming down, but then if you're on your own, you can sometimes think, well, I should write it into something else.
It's not confusion, but I'll try this.
And it's that
for short while.
Yeah, just and then say
yeah, you got to test your body, and everyone will react differently.
Yes. Yeah.
So like you, in a way, in a safe way, you've got to use your body as sort of a testing process, haven't you? Like a little test course. If I do this, what happens? Well, that doesn't work, so we'll go back to that. And then
you don't just try a couple of days here.
weeks. You've got to give it time.
like I say, it's strong for
Yeah.
over a year and a half.
It's worked amazing for you coming along.
Yeah, massive.
You know, but I'll go back to that question as well. So, do you reckon you can compete and grow every year? Because I always used to have a year after growing. And I see people compete every year, but sometimes they get worse.
It's not coming back any better.
No.
Because I don't think
that time.
you just finished university, yeah? 3 weeks ago.
I think fall. Yeah.
I don't know how your training's going, but pound on. It's going to take till Christmas after. So if you were going to do next year's Euros, in October, is it?
November the 1st.
But the point is, 2 to 3 months of getting back to strength. You're going to diet for 4 to 5 months at the end. So you've got another 5 months in the middle.
Not going to happen, is it?
No, you're not.
You're probably still recovering at the beginning, you know? Yeah, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if I was going to compete again, it would be the year after that, because I'd give myself 3 months just to recover.
Yeah.
And
So a year's not a long time.
No, it's not. So
It is in some aspects of life, but in bodybuilding, it's not a long time.
I'm already planning my show 3 years ago.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact I've got to recover, and then I've got to work out a way of doing a different type of bulk, because obviously I can't, health reasons, I can't bulk for a long time with high calories. So I've got to work out a process. I'm going to spend a year testing that out, then I'll go another year growing potentially, and then I've got to diet again.
Yeah.
You know?
Not time for all
It will, and you've got to realise this, guys, because like you can't just go, I'm going to do a show tomorrow and
that.
I'll
Give it 2 years to grow.
2 years, yeah. I'm spending 3 years getting ready. I'm spending 3 years getting ready for the next show.
I've been 5 years and still don't do it.
Yeah, but you've got to plan it, haven't you? You've got to, pick your show and you go, right, that's what I'm doing. How am I going to get there?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to diet. A diet's going to take me 16 to 20 weeks.
Well, let's get it. We mentioned Barry before. And his first Olympian, he did come back better every year.
Yeah.
But he was
Freaking
he was freak, and he was pretty bloody good the first one.
Yeah.
So we'd go back and he gained a bit. But he spent his years getting to that potential, and then he added in, and he says a lot. Ronnie was the same. He kept coming back year after year, a bit more.
But they're getting at the top level genetic, aren't they?
Yes,
Most
most
of us
learning.
Yeah.
Works in the body and
Yeah.
yeah. There's training, pulse, and all.
Yeah. It's high
Both of them
intensity.
guys,
Oh yeah. I mean, they're lucky they didn't really get that many injuries as well.
Yeah, and that's even a good question. Like, going back to the pro card, sorry to jump back. Let's look at Ronnie Coleman. He's still wearing as a policeman. You didn't have to be won the Olympia, by the way.
Quite a few times.
Seems like he won the Olympia twice. And he's still a policeman.
Full-time.
So that just shows you, like you say, even going back to the gold medals.
Yeah.
Obviously after the second one, the rest was history. But again, it just shows you that obviously even when bodybuilding was at its peak for me, early 90s, almost to 2000s, there wasn't enough. Obviously, it did spiral up, but the way that Ronnie Coleman, one of the greatest, was still working as a policeman as well as being
And you would tell you on his documentary on Netflix, he was talking about he was actually broke at one point.
Yeah.
He was had to go and get trains rather than planes and drive to these shows because he was chasing that dream. Yeah. So and then he was the best of the best. So I think we covered quite a lot. Yeah, loads of good info there. I think the key of today's video is keep real. Isn't it?
Enjoy it. It's a hobby.
Keep real.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. Look at yourself in the mirror, and if you've got the structure and you can grow by eating one meal a
You can
day,
change your structure.
you can't change your bone structure.
No, you cannot change it. No, but you cannot.
Yeah.
And through hard work, you can.
You can better yourself.
You can't push it.
But you can't if you've got a certain bone structure that arguably doesn't suit what the judges want, you can't ever change that. But you can be better.
Yes.
And if you love it, then fair enough. We know lots of people who've got not the best bone structures and they come back every year because they love it and they enjoy it and they do it because it's their hobby and it's their lifestyle and they've got a lot of friends in it and what's that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, that's probably better in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
They'll get more out of it.
They'll get more out of it.
They'll get more out of it, really, won't they? But but at the end of the day, realism is the key, isn't it? Are you really going to be growing that much that you're going to be a pro in a year or two? Very, very much doubt it. Have you got the bone structure to be a pro? Very few have. Have you got the muscle bellies? To do that?
That young kid who said about being a pro 2 years, can he eat 3 pounds of chicken a day now?
Probably take a while to
You
get
know,
used to
I've
that.
chicken 6 times. Can you eat that much already? Like, you only stick like the way you eat your breakfast before something that's it. You can put food away now. I'd love to watch it. I can't do that. I can't do that. You know, you may have the appetite. But can you really, you know, £3 chicken every day?
It takes some,
It takes some building up to.
It takes some doing, but also, you think about it, as a 15-year-old kid as well. The expensive £3 chicken a day.
Well, you can't do it. No, you just cook it.
You just cook it.
Yeah, but it's not that.
Yeah.
They've got influence.
Yeah, no,
Not the other.
6 times a day.
Yeah, God, you're really lucky if your parents can afford that for you.
Yeah.
Really, you know,
It's like they say, for you, with a full-time salary and job, and we spoke about them. Biggest cost of them is probably food and food.
There's a lot of cost people who've not touched on breakfast before. And what is that? You could get 3 tins of tuna for £1.
Yeah.
You know. Now it's at least £1 a tin in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we used to eat tuna because it was the cheapest commodity to get your protein in there.
Got it through uni that day.
Yeah.
Tuna Weetabix.
Dan's post-workout shake, tuna, tuna porridge oats and Diet Coke.
I see that video.
Yes, you ever make a can of tuna out of it?
Yeah.
Takes about 20 minutes.
Yeah, so
And then from halfway in, you're clashing. I love to mash it with banana.
Oh, fair play.
Overriding the taste of banana takes it in and it makes it more juicy so you can eat it quicker.
I'm going to do that for breakfast tomorrow.
Got my steak, my steak.
I was going to say, let's see things after that.
My stable at uni, right, because I can calculate how many Weetabix with the carbs.
Yeah.
And I was tuna though. It's like tuna, Weetabix, and we put low salt gravy on it.
Wow.
And that was my stable meal at uni because it was
Cheese
gravy.
on Weetabix.
Believe it or not, it's interesting.
It's weird,
It does work.
What way to get it
It does work. And I used to live on, I was quite fortunate at uni because I worked at Body Active in Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I used to get like staff discount on all like Perimars
Yes.
and all that. So I used to get a box of Perimars.
Definitely.
You know, I worked full time at uni at that shop. I got the best mate still, he was a manager of it, he's still the best mate today.
Yeah, Peter,
You know, and you know, I used to live on Perimars, Weetabix, tuna, and honestly gravy.
But
And
it works.
it worked, yeah.
And the thing for us, bodybuilders, like, I don't think many people understand. We very seldom ever used to eat for taste. It was functions, nutrients, food for fuel, wasn't it? Like, I was remember buying them, I used to tell me, oh, we don't have breakfast, we don't have that meal, that meal. Chicken and rice, everyone thinks you're mad at 6 o'clock in the morning, and chicken and rice.
It's average lane.
Exactly.
To be fair, you can't get healthy breakfast, really.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can look at breakfast if we don't want. Nice meal too.
Exactly, it's true. Yeah. So again, we covered lots of points, guys. And we'll come back for round 2 on this probably tomorrow. So we'll leave you with that, and hopefully you got some good